So, hello everyone. Today we have a special guest on our channel. We have Shraddha with us. So, Shraddha, would you like to introduce yourself once?
Okay. First of all, thanks Ashish for inviting me on your channel for this podcast. Hello everyone. I'm Shraddha Pawar. I am currently working as a software engineer at Adobe, and I have recently graduated from Pune Institute of Computer Technology and have joined Adobe in July.
Nice, nice. So, we'll be getting to know her journey to Adobe, what all she did, how was the interview experience, how did she prepare. So, Shraddha, would you like to start us off with your interview experience? Like, what all happened in the rounds? How was it?
Okay, so I had got an opportunity to give a test for Adobe She Codes program. So we got a form to fill, whoever want to participate. And I was kind of dreaming to get into Adobe from my second year when I had got to
Yeah,
know that my seniors are in Adobe, and I had heard of their experiences with Adobe. So I filled a form. I went for a test. Uh, it was kind of it had DSA questions, some aptitude questions, some questions related to mathematics, core subjects, and it had covered almost everything. So I cleared the test, and I had my interview in December 2023. And so during the interview, generally the interview format for Adobe interviews is kind of they ask you your projects, your DSA questions, core subjects, and introduction in the beginning. In this way, the flow goes. But in my case, I was asked only DSA questions. So my interview started with a brief introduction of mine and interviewer. Then he turned towards a DSA question. It was kind of, he said, let's do a warm up. So he asked me a time complexity of that question and the space complexity. So I calculated it, and it was kind of a bit complex, which needed some calculations around geometric progression. And it was kind of a series of geometric progression. I solved it, and uh, so then she turned towards actual question. It was around permutations and combinations. Um, so I started solving question. Uh, Initially, I he explained me a question. Then I asked some of my doubts: what is input, what is output, and I explained him what I understood from a question. Um,
yes.
I asked him, so I understood that what this will be the input. I have to take output, and why this output is coming. This is the reason, kind of. Then he said, okay, so you can start solving. Then I started solving question. I was just discussing what I'm thinking about answer with him. Like we call it think out loud process. So
Yes.
yeah. After that, I explained him my approach. Then he said, "Okay, seems good. You can start coding." For coding, I was given a Google Doc. I had to write code on a document. I wasn't provided any IDE. So he said, "You will write code on IDE, and then I will paste that in. Sorry, you will write code in Doc, and then I will paste it in
Paste in
IDE,
ID. Yeah.
and then check. Will check your solution." So I said, "Fine." Uh, Actually, I used to give a lot of contests, so I had this habit of writing code forces पे generally you write code in another ID and then paste it there. So
Copy it. Yeah.
हाँ
yeah.
थोड़ा सा आदत हो गई थी चीजों की. So it was fine for me. So I wrote my solution. Then I explained him how the input will go. We call it dry run. So I dry run my solution, and I he said, "What do you think about the edge cases?" Then my solution had covered edge cases, so I explained him. So these are the edge cases, and in this way, we can just the solution can cover them as well. So there was only that one question. He said, "Okay, let's just paste your question to ID and let's see if it is correct." So also, he helped me to check syntax error. He said, "Let's go through your solution and check if there are any syntax errors." I checked. There were one or two. We corrected them, and then he pasted it to ID. Meanwhile, while he was running my solution, he asked me if I have any questions to him. So I asked him around internship, what is expected from the candidates, and everything. So he answered me that, and he said, "Shraddha, your answer is correct." आईडी में रन करने के बाद, and then it was kind of 50 minutes of interview. Then in last 10 minutes, uh, he said, "Ki, yeah, it was great interviewing you," and he said, "Very excited to see you at Adobe." So this kind of gave me a positive hint of that I may get selected. And I think I had this interview on 5th of December, and on 9th of December, I got the result that I have got the internship.
All right. So going more into DSA, because your round was totally about DSA, right? And this
Mm.
is something great that you mentioned. I want to reiterate this to the viewers, right? That whenever you're in an interview and you're given a question, you should not just go straight to solving the problem directly. First, you need to be clear with the question. You need to ask the interviewer if you have any follow-up things. You need to be clear with the input output. Then you need to explain and what you understood to make sure that you don't, क्योंकि अगर आप गलत करके फिर उसको कोड करोगे, that will leave a very bad impression. So you
Yeah,
need to make sure you're
that is the point. Even today, when I work in a team and I get some task, I need to understand the task first. Okay, my mentor expects me to ask questions, ask doubts. Okay, what I have understood, and he expects ki I should have some doubts around this. I can't fully understand the task and just go and do it. So they just check how you approach the problem. So this approach is very necessary.
exactly. मतलब communication is very important along with your technical skills. The communication that you do with the interview, the discussion that you do, is very important. So that is one point I would like to reiterate. And speaking more into the DSA, like you had the first round in which you had aptitude, mathematics, and then you had a little bit of DSA there also, right? And in
Yeah.
technical interview, you had DSA also completely. What was the level of DSA you felt like
What
taking
was
reference
the
from lead code? What was the level of the DSA problems?
okay? The questions were kind of on a medium level. They were not so hard and not so easy for test as well. The question was on array, but it needed some complex calculations. But it was not that very hard, so it was medium level question. And for interviews as well, uh, the question was of medium level. The one he asked me to give the proper solution of, and the another one he asked to calculate time complexity. That question's solution was not expected. It was just he gave me the algorithm and to calculate the complexity. So calculating complexity was a harder part in that. So yeah, the Adobe had asked for interns. They had asked the medium level questions.
हम्म. एंड द टॉपिक वाज परम्यूटेशन एंड कॉम्बिनेशन राइट.
Yes.
तो बहुत लोग
Right.
के लिए तो डिफॉल्ट में परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन इटसेल्फ इज अ हार्ड टॉपिक बहुत पीपल
Uh,
आई डोंट
can
गेट
be, but
अंडरस्टैंड इट.
it can be. But with if you practice regularly, थोड़ा सा
या.
अगर उसके kind of जो common type of questions होते हैं वो practice कर रखे हैं तो
हम्म.
फिर it won't be very hard.
Right, right. So speaking more of practice, we'd like to know your DSA journey because you have been pretty good at DSA because for you the rounds were easy. You've also done contests and all. So how did you prepare for DSA and everything else?
Okay. So talking about my journey with this preparation thing, actually, up to 12th, I had no computer background. I was kind of, I'm from a village where there is a like quite less access to these technological things. When I entered in my first year, there was a COVID lockdown. So my first year went online only. I used to attend these lectures on phone, and I had no idea what is going on in like what is supposed to be going on during my first year, what other people are preparing. uh, so I got my laptop in my second year, and before that, uh, I had attended some sessions of my seniors who were placed in phone pay, I guess. So they were telling about this contests and DSA questions. There I got to know that this thing exists. In my second year, we had a topic of DSA, and our DSA teacher was very good, and I was very sincere with the lectures. I used to attend all online lectures. My friends laugh on this fact, but yeah, it's true. So I attended those lectures very seriously, and then I got to know, okay, these are DSA, these are data structures, and these questions are asked in interviews. So I talked with a few of my seniors, and they suggested me some playlists on YouTube. So I used to follow Code with Harry at that time. Probably the
Yeah.
YouTubers now, like Striver and others, were
Hmm.
not that famous at that time, or probably they had just started their journey with YouTube. So I was following the Code with Harry guy, that guy, and I completed this DSA series at that time. So I was quite confident. I started solving the questions on Geeks for Geeks. I knew this platform Code Chef, Code Forces at that time, but Geeks for Geeks was kind of easier for me. So I practiced questions there, stack, queue, and in the beginning, I was just scared ki how will I form these logics and for these questions and all. But with practice, like I in the beginning, I used to see the solutions of other people and understood like how they form a logic. Okay, this is what happening with the stack. Uh, I feel I was kind of good with aptitude. And in aptitude, we need to think of these logics and algorithms. So when I saw other people's answers of DSA, and then I got to know, okay, this is what happening. This is the process. Then I followed that series of Code with Harry, and then started my DSA journey where I solved those questions on myself. So in this way, it started. And once I got my laptop, I in October 2022. After that, I started solving questions. I used to make sure that I will solve at least one question a day. I had my tricks on Geeks for Geeks.
Yeah.
I have those heat maps where I have solved the
Uh,
questions each and every day. And after that, when I came to college, there were other people who were practicing contests on CodeChef, Codeforces, and I was good with academics. So my friends used to say, Shraddha, you can also start focusing on these contests, and because these are the things which are asked in interviews for placements. So I listened to them. I started practicing this as well, and in this way I continued my journey. I was starting में कोड विथ हारिका खत्म किया, उसके बाद I found Stiver's playlist of trees, graphs, all these things, and one by one I just completed this playlist. Trees खत्म किया, उसके बाद graph. So थर्ड ईयर में आते आते ट्रीज तक आ गई थी. फिर मुझे मॉर्गन स्टैनली मिल गई थी समर में. फिर उसके बाद फिर आई कंटिन्यूड माय प्रैक्टिस. देन आई कंप्लीटेड ग्राफ, डीपी, एंड प्लेसमेंट तक आने तक तो काफी खत्म कर लिया था. So beginning was quite harder. Once I got used to DSA, then I found things pretty easier. Like only thing I had to focus on was practice.
Hmm. Right, right. And apart from general practice, you've also given a lot of contests, like you did Code Forces. I think you also appeared for ICPC Algo Queen, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
that also you had
Mm.
appeared.
Uh,
So, from a contest perspective, how
mm,
did you improve in that? Because general practicing in one thing, and then
mm,
contest is another thing. Like appearing in contest one by one,
mm.
improving in that. A lot of people struggle in that thing. So, how did you improve in that?
So, talking about contests, as one of my friend had suggested कि contest दे दो, तो I just 8 बजे होता है कोड शेफ का contest.
Ha,
So I
yes.
just opened that day in the night. I opened the website, and I saw the questions. I found them like kind of hard because एक तो contest का मुझे पहले समझ नहीं आता था. Okay, this is the time given, and you have to solve the question in that. So डर लगता था कि टाइम खत्म हो गया, अपने को कुछ आया नहीं है. Like that.
Uh,
So I in the beginning I just took experience of contest. Okay, this is what happens in these 3 hours. So slowly I discuss with them कि यार मेरे साथ ऐसे ऐसे हो रहा है. This is how I'm solving questions. So time कैसे increase करना है. So उन्होंने बोला कि practice करो. You keep on practicing, and धीरे धीरे पेस बढ़ेगा. और टाइपिंग की स्पीड भी मैटर करती है. तो वो तो तब मैटर करेगी when you are able to solve the questions. So प्रैक्टिस के साथ आई वाज एबल टू सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस धीरे-धीरे। देन कॉन्टेस्ट में फिर मैंने प्रैक्टिस के साथ धीरे-धीरे कर दिए कॉन्टेस्ट शुरू। पहले कोड शेफ पे करती थी, उसके बाद कोड फोर्सेस पे शुरू किया, देन लीड कोड पे। बट इन माय केस आई वाज़ नॉट वेरी सीपी फोकस्ड पर्सन। कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग पे इतना फोकस था नहीं। आई वाज़ मोर फोकस्ड ऑन लीड कोड, कि मैं इंटरव्यू स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस करूँ, सो दैट कंपनीज़ पे सीपी के क्वेश्चंस ऐसा होता है कि अ, कुछ कंपनीज़ होती है, those companies ask those high level questions, but most of the companies focus on lead code, basic DSA questions, and they want to see your CS fundamental skills as well. So I was, I just wanted to build that logic of competitive programming, but I was more focused on DSA than the CP. And talking about ICPC, I think I had given that I had participated it in 2023. So तब तक I had good experience of contests, and I had practiced DSA well. So it was a great experience with ICPC as well.
All right. So I guess practice is the key, right? For improving in DSA, whether you're giving contests, whether you're going for lead code sort of a thing, any place, practice is key. You're going to have to practice a lot, solve a lot of problems. So Shraddha, on a final note, I would like to ask advice from you. For a lot of people who are watching this video, they will also want to get placed in a company like Adobe. They'll be in their third year, fourth year, and they also want to crack companies like Adobe, but they're kind of struggling. They're having difficulties in either DSA or finding the opportunities, things like that. So, what
Mhm.
advice would you like to give all those job seekers and people who want to get placed?
So first thing I would say is dream big. स्टार्ट से ही थोड़ा एक्सप्लोर करो चीज़ों को व्हेन यू गेट इनटू इंजीनियरिंग फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर जस्ट सी व्हाट योर सीनियर्स आर डूइंग हाउ योर प्लेस कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट्स आर गोइंग एक्सप्लोर लिंक्डइन पे थोड़ा सर्व करो बाहर ऑफ कैंपस क्या चल रहा है बाकी स्टूडेंट्स का वंस यू गेट टू नो कि बाहर like you get lot of opportunities. I would say about to appear for tech giants, give their interviews, and there are a lot of bigger things happening. So just set your goal very high, so that even if you don't get that bigger goal, whatever you will get will be way better than what you were expecting initially. So this is one of the thing. And once you set your goal, focus on the beginning कि appear every day start from like
Hmm.
beginning में ऐसा होता है ना बहुत डर लगता है DSA is a thing I was scared of when I had
Hmm.
started but I kept appearing every day I practiced every day um, in the beginning I wasn't expecting anything from myself I was just tracking progress okay what is better I am giving and don't compare your progress with other people because it's never about you people can't be on the same page every time प्रोबेबली हो
True.
सकता है किसी ने आपसे पहले 1 साल शुरू किया हो, आपसे पहले 1 महीना शुरू किया हो प्रैक्टिस करना. Obviously their progress will be way different than yours. So focus on yourself, how better you are than yesterday and how you have progressed in your journey. So once you get started, then maintain the consistency and be aware of the things. Know everything you want to prepare. Uh, I just believe कि if you want to like if you are setting a goal, make sure you are prepared for every whatever it needs. So थोड़ा
Hmm.
सा स्टडी करो क्या-क्या चीज़ें ज़रूरी है, सारी चीज़ें प्लान करो, how you will study that and make sure कि उस डेडलाइन व्हेनेवर अगर इंटर्नशिप सीजन स्टार्ट हो रहा है अगस्त में, तो मैं अपना प्लान ऐसे बनाओ कि अगस्त तक यू आर रेडी टू अपीयर फॉर द इंटरव्यूज़. सो मज़े भी करो बट कंसिस्टेंसी से ये प्रैक्टिस करते रहो, देन इट्स लाइक नो वे कि यू विल देयर आर चांसेस कि फेलियर आता है चीज़ों में, बट यू विल गेट अ वे बेटर रिजल्ट्स देन
Hmm.
जस्ट नॉट
Eventually,
हैविंग
yeah.
हाँ, इवेंचुअली यू विल गेट रियली गुड रिजल्ट्स. सो या दिस इज़ व्हाट आई वुड से कि डरना नहीं है, स्टार्ट करो एंड रोज़ प्रैक्टिस करते रहो, कंसिस्टेंट रहो and you will see the results. And follow the right people, I would say, because ऐसा होता है ना कि with my experiences, I have followed the seniors of Adobe who were working in Adobe,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
now I
might
am
as
at
well too.
Adobe.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
you you become what you take, like जिनको फॉलो करते हो, जिनकी जर्नी फॉलो करते हो, बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस है कि आप वहीं पे जाते हो. तो it has happened with me, so I would say कि follow right people as
Hmm. Correct, correct. So that's some great advice right there. And speaking more on following the right people, if anyone wants to, take help from Shraddha directly, or present their situation to Shraddha so they can help you on a particular situation, then you can connect with her on Topmate. I'll give her Topmate in the description. It'll also appear on the screen, and I'll also give her LinkedIn. So guys, make sure you follow her on LinkedIn. She creates some great content on there. So Shraddha, thanks a lot for coming on my channel, sharing your journey and interview experience with everyone. I hope it'll help a lot of students. Thank you.
well. Thank you, Ashish. I feel you are creating a really great content, sharing these experiences of people with the students. Actually, when I was preparing, I used to follow such videos, and these videos help people a lot. So, yeah, thanks for this initiative, and thanks for having me on your podcast.
Thank you. Do subscribe, guys.
Yeah.